In this session, we will discuss about mesh analysis or mesh current method. There are several methods which are available for analyzing or solving electric circuits, and mesh analysis or mesh current method is just one method, one of the methods. It is actually a very simple method where we are using the concept of meshes. So, what is a mesh? A mesh is actually a loop which does not contain any other loop. Okay. So, coming back to this mesh analysis, in this analysis, we have to follow a particular procedure. That is, there are some steps which are involved, and one by one, we have to follow that steps in order to solve the circuit. So, starting with the first step is identifying all the meshes of the circuit. So, in the circuit which you are given, there may be one mesh, two mesh, three mesh like that. So, first you identify all the meshes and mark it as mesh 1, mesh 2, like that. Okay. Now moving over to the next step. Then after that, the next step, that is after identifying the meshes, the next step is to assign the mesh current. So in each mesh there will be one current that you can mark it as like I1, I2, I3. And the direction of this current, it is not mandatory that is you have to take only in one particular direction. That is, you can assume the direction of the current. You can take it either in the clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. And after solving the circuits, if you are getting the value of current as negative, that means your assumption was wrong. That's okay. Okay. So after identifying the meshes, just mark the currents. Then the third step is very important. That is, after after assuming the direction of the current, you have to find the polarity of the voltage drop across the passive elements. Now, the using the sign convention for active elements, you can find the polarity for the EMF. But for the passive elements, already I have explained that. That is, if a passive element is connected like this, that if the current is flowing like this, so the point where the current is entering will be taken as positive, and this will be negative. Okay. So this assumption has to be used. The sign convention, you have to be very clear about the sign convention while expressing this polarity of the voltage drops using Ohm's law. Then after getting the voltage drop across the various passive elements, then apply Kirchhoff's voltage law. So in a mesh, maybe there may be one passive element or two passive elements. To find the voltage drop across all the passive elements, add it together along with the EMF. That will give you the equation corresponding to that particular mesh. Like that, you have to find for each mesh. So that means if there are three meshes, there will be three equations or three unknown variables will be there. And these unknown variables are the current, right? Okay, then after getting the equations, solve the equations to get the mesh current. So once you find the value of the current flowing through the electric circuit, then you can very easily find the other parameters or other terms which are asked in the question. Like suppose you are asked to find the voltage drop or voltage drop across a particular resistor or the total current, you can find all those things. Okay. Now this can be explained. We will understand it better when we just go through a circuit. So just we will consider this circuit. It is a very simple circuit. You can see here the voltage Vs. This is the EMF. Then there are three passive elements R1, R2, R3. So what is the first step? The first step is we are going to identify the meshes. So we have taken this one as a mesh 1 and the other one as a mesh 2. You can see here mesh 1 and mesh 2. So that is the first step. Now the next step we are going to assign the direction of the current. So here you can see for the mesh 1 I have taken the current. Both the currents I have taken in the clockwise direction. So that is not compulsory. Here I have taken in this direction. If you want you can take it in the reverse direction also. That doesn't matter. So the current in the mesh 1 is taken as I1 and current in the mesh 2 is taken as I2. So both I1 and I2 are in the same direction. Okay. Same direction means I am assumed in the clockwise direction. Okay. Now let's apply that sign convention for the passive elements. Okay, let's see that. See here. Now if you see the direction of the current I1 is flowing through the resistance R1 in this fashion, right? So that is why the starting point is plus. That is entering point. The point where the current is entering is taken as positive and this is negative. Okay. And then when you consider the resistance R2, the current is entering at this point, leaving at this point. So accordingly, you can mark the polarities. Okay. Now, what about the current I2? So when you consider the resistance R3, the current is entering at this point, current is leaving at this point. Okay. Now you have to be very careful while assigning the polarity of the voltage drop across the resistance R2, because you can see here there are two currents which are flowing here. That is, through the resistance R2, I1 is flowing like this and I2 is flowing like this. That means there are two voltage drops across resistance R2. One is due to current I1, the other one is due to current I2. So if I am considering the voltage drop due to the current I1, it is like this, plus, minus. Okay. Now when I consider the voltage drop due to current I2, it is, here it is plus and here it is minus. They are exactly opposite. So when writing the equation, you have to be very careful. Okay, that is, we will be taking each mesh separately and then we will write the equation. So just let us take the first mesh. Okay. So I have redrawn the mesh. You can see here. So here, as I told you, while writing the equations, let's start with the EMF. So just assume that we are going to analyze the circuit in the same direction of that of the current I1. So this I have compared with a very simple example, that is, consider each mesh as a playground and you are walking through the playground, and each point, that is each passive element, you have to just check the polarity, that I will explain. Just imagine that you are starting from this point, okay, and the current I1 is like this, so you are also moving along with the current I1, and when you reach this particular point, that is EMF, you can see here it is changing from minus to plus. That means it is increasing. So that is why we will take it as PS, because it is increasing. Okay. Then you reach this particular point and you are trying to see the voltage drop, polarity of the voltage drop across resistance R1. So you can see here it is from plus to minus. That means it is reducing, right? So you will write it as minus. So what is the voltage drop across resistance R1? That is I1 into R1, because the only current that is flowing through the resistance R1 is I1. So you have to consider only that voltage drop. Then when coming to this point, that is when you try to find the polarity of the voltage drop across R2, first you will reach this point, you see that you can see two voltage polarities. See, like this. That is when you can see when you are standing here. Just imagine you are standing here. You can see that one is from plus to minus, one voltage drop. That is due to current I1. So plus to minus means it is decreasing, right? So you will write it as minus. What is the current? I1. But what is the resistance? R2. Then when you stand at this point, when you look at the resistance R2, you can see another voltage drop due to the current I2. It is minus to plus. That means minus to plus means what? From lesser value to higher value. So it is increasing. So that voltage drop you have to take it as positive. When you are standing here and moving, which direction? In the direction of current I1. Okay, so now the voltage drop across resistance R2 due to current I2 also you have to consider. Okay, so even from the point where you can see that it is from minus to plus. So that means it will be what? It will be plus, because it is minus to plus increasing, due to which current? I2. So you can write it as plus I2 R2. So this is the equation. Okay, now you can write it as Vs minus I1 R1 minus I1 R2 plus I2 R2 is equal to 0. So this is how you write the mesh equation, and you have to be very careful while writing the sign. So you have to be very thorough with the active sign convention and passive sign convention. Okay. Now let's move on to the next mesh, that is mesh 2. Here you can see the direction of the current I2. That is also in the clockwise direction. Now let's start from the resistance R3. Okay. Now here also just assume that you are moving in the direction of current I2. So you reach this point. Now you are at this point. You can see the voltage drop is from plus to minus. That means it is reducing, right? So you will write it as minus which current? I2. What is the resistance? R3. Okay. Now again you are moving and you reach this point. So here you can see two voltage drops across resistance R2, one due to I2 and one due to I1. So first let's consider the voltage drop due to current I2. It is from plus to minus. So it is reducing, right? So you will write it as minus I2 R3. Sorry, I2 R2. The first voltage drop is minus I2 R3. Next one is minus I2 R2. Now let's consider the voltage drop in resistance R2 due to current I1 when you are standing at which point? This point. I have shown here this point. So you can see that the current I1, it is flowing in this particular direction downwards, right? So this will be plus and this will be minus. So when you are standing at this point, you can see that the voltage drop is minus to plus. It is increasing. So since it is increasing, it will be plus. What is the current? I1. What is the resistance? R2. So the equation corresponding to the mesh 2 can be written as minus I2 R3 minus I2 R2 plus I1 R2 is equal to 0. These two equations are the same. These both are same. Okay. So now you got two equations. You can rearrange it. That is, arrange the terms for I1 together and I2 together. Here also it is done like that. And then you solve the equation to find the values of current I1 and I2. So this is called the mesh analysis. And these equations can be two meshes and two currents, means it is very easy to solve the equations. But when the number of meshes increases, the equations gets more complicated. That time we have to go for something called matrix analysis that we will discuss later. Now let's try to solve one problem using this method. So consider this particular circuit. So now we are going to use the normal solution. That is how you, when you are getting two or three equations, how you solve. The same method we will use. We are not going to use the matrix method. First we will use the normal method, then we will see matrix method. So here you can see three meshes, 1, 2, 3, and I have marked the direction of the current also, I1, I2 and I3. Okay. And now based on the direction of the current I1, I have marked the polarities of the voltage drop across the resistances also. So now let's take the first mesh. First mesh, what will be the equation? You can see here. Let's assume that we are moving in this direction, same in the same direction as that of current I1. So when you see the EMF polarity based on the active sign convention, it is minus to plus, so it is 5. Then minus 5i1 because you are moving from plus to minus. Then when you reach this 1 ohm, there are two voltage drops that you have to consider. That is due to I1, it is plus minus. That is why minus 1 into I1. 1 is the resistance. The other one is minus 1 into I1 plus 1 into I2. That equation can be written like this. So you will get this expression. Okay. Then we will move on to the mesh 2. In the mesh 2 also, just assume that you are moving in that green color, same direction you are moving. So when you reach the 2 ohms, it is plus to minus. So it is minus 2i2. You can see here minus 2i2. And when you reach this particular resistance, you can have to consider two voltage drops. Okay, one is plus to minus. So that will be minus. So that is minus 2 into I2 plus 2 into I3. You can see the voltage drop in this particular resistance due to I3. That is from, if you see the direction, it is minus to plus. That is why you will get it as plus 2 into I3. Like that, you can write the equation for mesh 2. So you will get this particular equation. Similarly, you have to write the equation for mesh 3. So mesh 3 also, just assume that you are moving in the direction of I3. So when you reach this particular point, it is minus to plus. So you will write it as 10. And then you have to consider the resistance across this 2 ohms. So you are moving in this direction, right? So you have to consider the voltage drop across 2 due to two currents, I3 and I2. Okay, so first one is minus to plus. Minus to plus is due to the current I2. Okay, So it will be, if you see here, you can get it as plus 2i2. That is what is written here. So like that you can write the equations. It is not very complicated. Just when you initially you may find little difficulty, but very soon like you will be able to write it. And then you will get three equations. Okay, using these three equations, equation number 3, equation number 2, equation number 1. Solve these three equations to get the value of the mesh current. So this is a very simple explanation for this mesh analysis. And the only, maybe you will be confused only in the places where there is a resistance and there are two currents flowing, and you have to take the voltage drop across this resistance due to these two currents in the correct way. That is, here it is plus minus and here it is minus plus. Okay, so it depends on how you are moving. That is, just if you are moving, it depends. That is, suppose if you are moving in this direction, then you have to consider plus minus minus plus. Now, suppose if you are moving in this direction, then this one, it will be plus to minus, right? So it will be negative and this will be positive. Like that, you have to think and you have to take, or you have to assign the voltage drop polarity. Okay.